More Africans are surely getting the recipe of bringing Africa out of the woods and creating an egalitarian society for the continent's well-being. In the words of Kofi Annan, the late UN Secretary-General, he said, and I quote, "There is no tool for development more effective than the empowerment of women." All the male executive speakers at the just concluded annual Women Directors Luncheon on the 24th of May 2022 at the Ecobank Pan Africa Hall hit the nail on the head by discussing how they have been grooming the female genders with merits into corporate leaders in their spaces, in the areas of employments, business fundings and management merit selections. Bolaji Balogun of Chapel Hill Denham, Karl Toriola of M.T.N Nigeria and Iyinoluwa Aboyeji of Future Africa surely got our he for she award for the day. With men like this in key positions, there is hope for Africa. Kudos to the organizers at the Institute of Directors for a well-packaged event and their sponsor at Ecobank.
Entrepreneurs Channel TV, rewriting Africa's story through enterprise and Amazons. We promote women in business. We showcase women in business.
Entrepreneurs Channel TV, creating a platform of expression for every woman.
An economy where 51% of our population are women, then running forward without women in governance positions is as simple as you running with one hand or one leg tied behind your back. I'm also very proud of one fact as a firm. Our firm has existed for 6,251 days. To put it into years, just over 17 years. Every single one of those days of those 17 years, we have been more than 50% female employees. Every single one of those 251 days, we have been more than 40% women in leadership positions. We're the only firm in Nigerian financial services today with 3 female managing directors, and I see all 3 of them on the table there. Please stand up. Please stand up. Today, that is the largest community of women on the board of any major listed company in this country. And I think that it's something that every single listed company in this country must espouse. I joined that board as a very young man. I was 34 at the time. Dr. Johnson's father was my chairman. There was no woman on the board at that time. He ensured that he put the first woman on the board, and there was only one woman on the board of Lafarge Africa for a very, very long time. And therefore, very, very proud to support this event. If I left this stage and I didn't acknowledge 2 men in the audience, I would be in trouble. And I left it for last. One of them is my big emo, Otumba Chief Chris Olufunlola Ogunowo, immediate past president of the IOD. Very good to see you.
But here's the interesting thing. Technology itself, as we see it, it's a machine. It doesn't have prejudice. It doesn't have prejudice against women, against tribes, against the status you are born into, society, etc. But the people that influence technology and investment decisions, unfortunately, still have prejudice today. So that's one of the things we need to change in terms of becoming an inclusive economy. Mobile communications, and I have the privilege to lead M.T.N, is a key driver of making this change that we're speaking to. And in particular, the mobile internet is universally acknowledged as an amazing and enabling tool for social and economic development and inclusion and empowerment. It brings about equity and participation. It brings about sustainability by reshaping societies, and it brings about growth and stability.
Not a graduate, and we literally plucked her out of school, put her on online school, and said, hey, work closely with me to learn how to invest, and you're in charge of this $1 million. She's like 23. And she was the one who wrote most of the checks, and most of the companies are actually returning, they're raising up rounds and all of that. What am I trying to say? It is impossible for men to make investments in women unbiasedly, and we just have to accept that.
Okay, he just dropped one. Did you hear that? He just dropped something hot. Can you
It's just a
repeat
fact.
that?
It is impossible for men to make investments in women unbiasedly. It's not possible. So the only way to get more women investments is to empower more female fund managers. And the truth is, and this is where the cookie somewhat crumbles, right? If you look at the pipeline of investment managers who have the requisite experience, we don't have enough women on that list. So an organization has to be intentional about actually investing the resources. So if it means, most of the women early in their career will look for very stable jobs. I mean, Adenike is able to take is taking a leap of faith by abandoning a cozy bank job or stable career at McKinsey or something like that to jump right into investment. But men have the privilege of taking those sort of risks. So in another 5 to 8 years, when I'm looking for an investment analyst that has some experience, I'm going to see a resume full of men that meet the criteria and maybe a few that are women. So it's actually, what we've done in our firm is that we actually specifically sponsor female investment emerging associates and principals to go to venture capital school. And if it means sometimes we have to pull them out of the traditional university system to be able to do that. We actually invested $2 million in women in 2021. And what that taught me was that if on the policy side, we actually put in quotas and mandates, companies can rise to the occasion and do the right thing. And that without that, we're really, inclusion is really a blunt instrument, right? When it's voluntary. And that there's perhaps more of a need to drive a mandate conversation in terms of including women at the highest levels of organization.